can see it. Okay. If you didn't hear that, God bless everyone out there in Radio Land. This is Barry and Karen coming to you live from Brace Marriage Ministries and Dare to Be Different podcast. And we're also our Embracing Marriage podcast. This is the one we're going to do tonight because we have a really good one. We've been doing a three-part lesson on comparison, and we did it based on an article that was written by the uh, Les and Leslie Parrott, and it was off their website, off the Symbis website, which is symbis.com, and it was a really interesting article, so we decided to go ahead and teach it. Our first night we did it, which was the Friday last week. We did an intro for it, and we talked about uh, how comparison how comparison would kill a relationship. And so that's basically what it is. Three ways per comparison can three ways the comparison trap can kill your marriage. That's the title of the article. Um, the three ways they gave. The first night we did on Monday, we did a comparison to others, which was a good one. You can go and check that one out. Comparing your success with others. Uh, Tonight we're gonna do comparing your spouse to other men and women. This is gonna be a good one, and I hope we get some people in that can give some feedback. And the third one's the happiness trap, and that's the one we're gonna do on Friday. So right now we're gonna do the comparing your spouse to other men and women. We kind of hit it a little bit during the time that we was talking about it yesterday. Uh, I know my wife might have more feedback on it than me. So, hello, wife.
Hey,
Don't say-
husband.
yeah, she a little touch, y'all. Just pray for her. But anyway, we go. Why she smile like that? So anyway, the good thing about this one is that we have. I'm not saying we experienced, in some degree we have, because you, as we read the article, you'll understand it. We kind of elaborate on something. It's just one paragraph tonight, and but there is a lot in this paragraph that we're gonna bring out. But let's start by the reading of it, and then we can elaborate from there. There are fewer things that can destroy your marriage faster than this one, which is the comparing your spouse to other men and women. You married your spouse for his or her unique strengths and personality. You said your vows and made the sacred commitment in front of God and your family. Your spouse will not complete you and will never meet your every need. Let me stop there, because a lot of people, my wife probably can say something about this too. A lot of people believe that when they get married, you heard the phrases, the nice little romantic, you complete me. No, you should have been complete when you met that person. When my wife met me, she was already complete.
Right.
And when I was working on being complete,
Mm-hmm.
but we were two individuals coming together and sharing life together. And they get this idea that one part you're half, and then you got to find the other half to be a whole.
Mm-hmm.
It's That's no such thing. I'm sorry, I hate these romantic people getting on cards and all that stuff. You complete me. No,
Mm-mm-mm.
all you do is compliment me. When God brought Adam and Eve together, he said that he made the woman that was he say made someone who can help him, that would be compatible to him, not complete him.
Right.
Adam, when he was created, he was already complete when God created him.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like God. So God's complete, he's whole. So he does not need anyone to complete him. He is the completion.
Mm-hmm.
He's already completed. So when you're talking about somebody completing you, they can't meet your every need. Only God can meet your every need.
Right.
Only God can supply all your need according to His riches and glory by Christ. Only God can meet every need.
Mhm.
You can't expect a human being who needs more than they have to be your everything.
Right. Especially if you're a needy person.
Yeah. We get the needed person part in a minute, but
I,
let
I
me
just want
finish
to.
this
I
thought.
know.
But
I
she,
just want to throw that.
yeah, yeah, she be talking about that. But listen, because there are different forms of dependencies,
Mhm.
and uh, we're working in that a little bit. But I want to finish this thought. One thing about it, when you're talking about completing a person, it should be already completed when you get together.
Mhm.
It's just two individuals coming together to share life together. They're complete when they should be complete when they got together.
Mhm.
There
Right.
should be me waiting on somebody to complete me or finish me up. I should be already finished. I should be already growed up. I should already be mature. I don't need somebody to finish maturing me. They can complement me. They can be compatible to me, but they can't complete me.
Mhm.
So when you find someone who complements you, where where you have your strengths, they have their weaknesses, and vice versa. You can fill in the places where they are incomplete, if you want to use that term, but they don't complete you completely because you should be already that when you met them.
Mhm.
So these phrases are you complete me, and you're my everything. Don't
Oh
no.
God.
I love my wife,
Mhm.
but my wife is not my everything.
Mm-mm.
She's a good portion of it, but she's not everything.
No.
And I'm not everything to her.
Mm-mm.
Because only one that should be everything in your life is God.
Right.
And if He's not everything, then the person that you bring into your life, if you make them everything, you're putting them in a place that they cannot fulfill. And then we get upset when they don't meet that particular uh, qualifications. When they don't be God in your life,
Mhm.
you gotta, and you first like say, well, my wife with me, she'll tell you she was living a single life.
Mhm.
You know, God slowed her down and say, hey, you need to start acting like a wife. She'll tell you about that. But I know, me on the other hand, I didn't get into the game until after I got married because I was still for a while. It took me a while to really just get a clue that you got a family now. Especially when I started working different jobs and I started realizing, you know what, I need to start quitting these jobs because it's making it hard on me. And I did that one time. I did a couple of times like that, and God stopped me Himself and say, "You need to stop this foolishness because it's not about you anymore. Because it's foolish for a man to just get a job and get mad and you ain't gonna talk to me like that because I'm a grown a man. You know how we talk." And you quit the job, but then you got this woman and these kids back home looking at you like, "What you gonna do now? You
Mhm.
gonna sit down here and look at us, or you gonna go out there and get you another job?" So
Mhm.
you gotta learn how to deal with stuff.
Right.
And I had to grow up because I was no longer me, you know. And so when he said your flaws are not complete and will not meet your every need, they can't. There's no possible way for you them to do it. They're
Mhm.
not God. They are who they are. They need their needs met. They expect you to do some of it,
Mhm.
but they shouldn't expect you to do all of it. So let me read on,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna let my wife say what she feels about the needed. There'll be days and even seasons when you may not even be on the same page. We've been there.
Mhm.
You ain't even the same book, much less the same page. Y'all in two different books. I'm in, I'm in one book, she in another book, and we trying to figure out what we talking about. It's like you speaking two different languages. I'm speaking Spanish, she's speaking Chinese. We don't even know who we're saying to each other.
Mhm.
But the dangerous thing is that you can do is to compare your spouse to another man and woman. Don't you ever
Mhm.
in your born life, if you married, say, I wish you were like such and such, because such and such treat their husband right.
Mhm.
I wish you was like sister such and such. She treat her husband right. or I wish you was like brother such and such. He treat his wife right.
Mhm.
See what they do? He take him on trips. She takes her on. Don't he take her out? When you gonna take me out? Such and such take his wife out. Don't do that.
Mm-mm.
Don't do that foolishness because number one, if you do that, all you're gonna do is make them look little, like they're not good enough. You married them.
Right.
Apparently, they were good enough for you to marry and spend all the rest of your life with them.
Mhm.
Why in the world, all of a sudden now, they're not meeting, they're not meeting the standard you think they should be meeting because you're looking at somebody else's life. That's what
Right.
I'm saying. That comparison, you look at, we know a lot of couples,
Mhm.
okay? We know couples from all different levels of income,
Mhm.
okay? We got people that own businesses. We know that friends with us. We got people that they don't own nothing. That know us. But we look at now. Say we look at the people that's more prosperous than us.
Mhm.
I ain't gonna sit there and then if I notice, um, good. I give you a good example. Say you went to a party, but now party, y'all like a get together,
Mhm.
and my wife by default, and nobody taught her this. Nobody told it. I didn't have nothing to do with it either. By the way, I'm gonna just let you know. Just disclaimer: whatever my wife does has nothing to do with
And I approve this
me. She
message.
approves because I'm telling you, a lot of the stuff my wife did, she did it because she did it out of love, and she just did it on her own. I never asked her to do it. She just did it because that's what she wants to do. My wife, in the day that even when we was dating and engaged, she would bring my food to me.
Mhm.
She would fix it and she'd bring it to me, and she fix hers, and we'll sit down and eat together. So she did this from time we dated. She started doing that. Now, if we go to a get together,
Mhm.
okay, and we have a bunch of people in there, and they have food and getting ready to fix the food. I think this happened before too.
Mhm.
Um, I think we was a Super Bowl party. I think it was, wasn't
Mhm. Yeah.
it? My wife, um, she kind of set the standard because
Mhm.
I think at the time we
Yeah.
wasn't pastor, but we was just
Mhm.
ministering the church. She went in there and fixed my food and brought it to me.
Mhm.
Well, the rest of them sisters was looking like they were looking like, why is she doing that? Because
Mhm.
they hey, I fixed it, go on
I
fix it.
cooked it.
I cooked it, go.
Come and
Yeah,
get it.
come and get it. The only time that I have to go and get it is when she mad. But I tell you what, even when she upset, she still do it,
Mhm.
and it's just because she she learned to overlook that a lot of stuff
Mhm.
and just be and do it out of love anyway. She just do it in faith, and I do. Like I open the door for her. A lot of
Mhm.
people kind of trips out when I open because you don't see that to me. Men open the doors for women.
Mm-mm.
They it'll mess you. If you a man that open doors and you open the door for some of this generation now, they freak out. They wouldn't even know. They don't say thank you. They don't know how to respond to it
They don't.
because they're not treated with value.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, we can get into this because
Cause they don't value themselves,
they don't
and they
value
don't
themselves.
and they don't require it. Some
Yeah.
things you have to require of yourself. If this is what you wanting,
Mm-hmm.
if you want the man to open now, which I didn't have to require it, I didn't have to ask it.
Mm-mm.
You freely did it because you felt like I was deserving and of that type of treatment.
Yeah, you are.
So yeah, but a lot of times, like I say, if they're not trained or not raised, or if it's not in them to do, then hey, train them up. Shucks. That's what we the ladies at work, we always say, well, we not getting married no more because I'm like, cause I already have him trained. He have me trained. We know each other, so
Mm-hmm.
hey, so we know
Yeah.
what to do on that, on that part. But if you see, cause like I say, we didn't heard people make statements like say, cause he do open the door for me,
Mm-hmm.
and we get groceries and he bring all the groceries in. So, but if somebody else was to see that
Yeah.
and that's what they wanting, but you never voiced that.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
you never said, well, hey, I would like you to do this. I like, with your likes and your wants. He's not a mind reader.
Mm-mm.
She's not a mind reader.
No.
So, and a lot of time, like you brought up the thing about the when we went to the Super Bowl party.
Mm-hmm.
Now that could have got out of hand. So, that could have turned into a big argument with somebody. Cause you see people do some stuff. Cause they see me bringing my husband his food.
Mm-hmm.
Then they say, well, somebody could just say, hey, well, you're not gonna, comparing.
Yes.
If they
Yeah.
if they would have compared what I was doing with my husband, which is my all the time,
Mm-hmm.
if they would have compared that and seen me doing it with him, they could say, well, you're not gonna bring my, you're not gonna fix me nothing. We over here at people's house. Da, 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 I don't want,
Oh yeah.
well, I don't do it at home. So why why
Mm-hmm.
I ain't caring. I ain't, this, we, so that could have really, when you compare, you'd
Yeah.
be surprised how the strife and the confusion, cause but that's what you wanting and desiring,
Mm-hmm.
but you're
But
not getting, but you need to voice that,
That's right.
and do it in a nice and kind way.
And don't use the person that you saw do that.
Right,
Like
yeah.
such and such. Such and such. Why
Yeah.
Prophet wife? He bring his food. You
She
ain't be
bring it.
like Prophet wife. No.
No, please
You
don't.
need to be like you.
Yeah, cause then next your wife gonna be hating me
Yeah.
because your husband set me as a standard.
Exactly. And that's what we shouldn't do.
Yeah, and you shouldn't do that even and vice versa.
Mm-mm.
Don't, if you're a woman, don't use nobody else's husband as a standard.
That's
No,
right.
this like he's not the standard for your marriage because
Mm-mm.
we different individuals.
Mm-hmm.
You can't compare our marriage to yours and how I treat him, how you treat yours, and how we go and how we do and how we interact.
That's right.
You can't do that because you talking about you looking for a useless war.
Yeah.
When you do that, then you belittling people. You're making them feel little as heck.
Mm-hmm.
Then men, they, I call it a little ego. You tear a little ego down. You
Yeah.
got to, hey, and then some of these people they do it in public.
Yeah. they
That's
do.
the bad thing. They do the comparison in public in the front of everybody.
Why you can't be like such and such?
Yeah. Just-
And you don't want to do that.
Yeah, some people. I mean, they didn't clown comparing,
Mm-hmm.
and using your like saying especially like if you like a certain type
Mm-hmm.
of man,
Yeah.
you like a certain type of woman. So now you comparing your like say we hang with couples, so we could just say a couple thing. So
Mhm.
you comparing this couple, he got a wife. She works out. She goes to the gym. She keep fit. Or she might have a husband. They might go to the gym, keep fit.
Mm-hmm.
So then your husband probably put on a few pounds. You probably put on a few pounds. So now you
Like
want to
me.
compare. You want to compare
A
this.
whole lot
This.
of clowns.
You want to compare your husband
to him.
or your wife to
Yeah,
them.
Yeah.
Because they have time on hand to go work out in the gym. They have the money to afford to go work out in the gym.
Yeah.
So, but you need to be more like such and such wife. She goes to the gym, she works out, she do this, and this, and how she keep herself up, and blah blah blah, and you need to get your hair done, and because like such and so wife, just because her hair always is neat, is always kept up, and you just been wearing this same old,
Thank you for the follow, Fred Delitas.
So, and we comparing. You comparing how this woman keeps her hair, and you like it, and this that and that, and telling your wife. See, it's different when you complimenting somebody, and then when you comparing them, say, well, you need to do this to your hair like such and such. See, when you bring this other person,
Mm-hmm.
like Susie Homemaker,
Yeah.
you need to be like this and cook like that, and telling them this. That's the comparison, because you comparing your wife to somebody else's wife, and your
Yeah.
husband to somebody else's husband, and that is not and that's belittling.
Yeah.
That would make me, I'm sitting up there, somebody got a 6-pack, and I'm, you done picked up this old lust spirit and all that. So now you sitting up there want him to go look like the man you be lusting after of, and woo, boy, sure. You know how and how the
And your
men.
husband sitting at the house with a kid.
Yeah, yeah, you sit up there, because the
Looking
devil
at
done
this
got, the
kid.
devil done got all in you all full of lust, and you sit up there looking at this 6-pack all buffed and cut, and everything all in, and then you like, man, ain't no brother, like you some old masculine woman or something. And but women do that.
Yeah.
They do it all the time, and then you sitting up there, talking about, oh, I wish my husband go break out and look like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's wrong. That you all kind of wrong for that. Cause you want him to look like, now
We
you comparing.
it reminds me we have a coworker that would do that. Like my wife she gets all our cologne. She gets her perfume, my cologne too.
Mm-hmm.
So what she would do if she wanted a certain scent from me,
Mm-hmm.
she'll drag me in there and say, "Hey, try this." That's it. No, it
Mm-hmm.
ain't like smell this, see what it is. Try this. That's how it is. And she put it on me, and she'll smell it,
Mm-hmm.
and if she likes, she'll get it for me. Well, I had a coworker every time that I would, actually get some new cologne or whatever, and she'd smell it on me. Oh, uh, she said, "What that cologne?" I tell her. She said, "I'm gonna get that from my husband." I said, "Girl, let me tell you something."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "You better get him, and you better try it on him, because every scent don't smell the same
On everybody.
on everybody.
Mm-mm.
So no telling, they might go home and say, such as can't husband smell like that. Why you can't? Don't do that.
Please don't.
Don't do that."
Yeah. Please don't.
There is some serious deal breakers that you do not do. If you
Yeah.
like
Come.
going, and I'm gonna look from the man's side. If you see a
Go ahead.
woman,
Mm-hmm.
she built a certain way, and your wife ain't built the way she built,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot go expect that. You cannot go and try to get your wife to look like that woman,
Mm-hmm.
because number one,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's shaped different.
Right.
Or they'll say, now in my case, my wife always changed her hair.
Mm-hmm.
So now, because the fact that I'm used to her seeing the change in hair, I'm used to noticing hairstyles in women. Some of them are horrible. They're horrid. But
Mm-hmm.
if I see a nice one that probably fit her, you know, I'll think to myself, that would look good on my wife, because it fits her face.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not gonna go and say, "I seen such and such. You need to get your hair look like one guy did her one time."
Yes. Yeah.
That's one of the
yeah.
things you don't do.
Yeah. Don't come home bragging and boasting about, yeah, because I seen such a so and so. Boy, she had a bad hairstyle,
Hmm.
and and the hairstyle really looked good, and you doing this, and then and you got to go get your hair done like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take offense to that.
yeah. Because number one, I'm not gonna bring that to her, because
Mm-mm.
number one, she does her hair so she can stand out. She don't want to blend in and look like everybody else, because that hairstyle I might looked at,
Mm-hmm.
10 other women probably got that hairstyle.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so you should never. And if they shaped a certain way, I know, Chuck. You gotta look at the age difference in a lot of these people.
Right.
Give you a perfect example. Now, everybody know about the Instagram models. Everybody know about that.
Oh Lord, yes.
Now, you looking at women who are normally between the ages of 18 to about 35.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they still got their youth. Look at them about 10, 20 years later, when they get into the 50s and 60s, and see if they'll still look like that, unless they work out,
Mm-hmm.
and unless their genetics is a certain way. They ain't gonna look like that in 20 years.
No.
You stare at them and get a good picture, because that's the last time you're gonna see them like that, especially
Right.
if you marry them.
Mm-hmm.
You go see, that's the problem with a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
When we meet a person a certain way, we expect them to stay that way
Mm-hmm.
as years go by, and that's
Right.
just not reality.
It's really not.
Because, and this is what we finna read here,
Yeah.
because that's what he just got through saying.
Mm-hmm.
But the most dangerous thing that you can do is compare your spouse to another man or woman. It takes your focus off of your greatest gift and onto a false reality.
That is so true.
Because you start to looking at this person and thinking, well, I wish my spouse was like that person, and they're not.
Mm-mm.
Because in 20 years they gonna look like your spouse.
Yeah.
If they are open age and they're not shaped like they used to be,
Mm-hmm.
that's you looking at the future.
Right. Right. Right.
I tell you what.
And now, don't mean to cut you off. Now, all of a sudden,
Uh-huh.
we first got married.
Yeah.
We both was you was a little smaller.
I was a whole lot smaller, little.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
this
trying.
small.
I'm trying to.
I
You
was
know,
this
love
small.
is kind. Now, love is kind. I'm trying
Well,
to be
I'm
nice.
gonna tell the truth. That was this big.
I'm trying to be nice. Well, he was small.
I was skanky.
He was skinny. He was little. He was a little bitty something, and I was bigger.
Yeah.
So so to say
Yeah.
all that, so and now when we first met,
Mhm.
like I say, how they got this thing, your type.
Yeah.
So we hey, I'm his type,
Mhm.
and he my type.
Mhm.
So now all of a sudden things start changing, like you said, you started aging, getting older, and putting on pounds, losing pounds, whatever's going on in your body.
Mhm.
Now all of a sudden you didn't start admiring such and so, and admiring him and
Mhm.
admiring her.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, like I say, that comparison, because
Mhm.
now you don't see your wife as your type, you see what you looking at out
As,
there in the streets,
as you
and now
type.
you're looking on Facebook, and now you on Instagram, and you on all this little social media looking
Mhm.
out. Now all of a sudden you wanna. That's when it starts, when you start comparing your wife to this.
This image,
Yeah, to
because
this
that's all
to
it
the
is.
your wife in her 50s and 60s,
Yeah.
and this chick in her 30s.
There you go.
And
There's
so
no
now, yeah,
comparison.
so now all of a sudden you
You want that
yeah, yeah.
60-year-old look like that
Yeah,
30-year-old. It's not gonna happen.
yeah. So now I'm not your type no more, because I
Yeah.
don't look like that.
Yeah.
I was, and he ain't my type no more, because he don't look like,
Yeah.
because that comes from when you start comparing,
That's it.
and and having all these old unrealistic expectations,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not good.
Yeah.
It's really not. Hey, I know. I tell people in a minute, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I like me. I like myself. I love myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not finna be eating no soup and no salad. Nah. I ain't gonna let myself go,
No.
and I ain't gonna get all
All
all out of whack,
Yeah.
with my body. So I
Mhm.
do, I walk a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, he ain't finna let himself get all out of whack.
Mm-hmm. If
But
it get too bad, yeah, I'm
yeah,
gonna do something. Right
but we
now,
don't put each other down. I'm
no.
not finna sit here and come in and compare him to some dude in his 20s
Yeah.
and in his 30s,
Mm-hmm.
and he all buffed and cut, and he got it all together, and he got this good job, and
Mm-hmm.
and telling my husband, well, hey, I want to live, like this brother, how he got his wife in the mansion,
Yeah. That's another
and
one.
want
Yeah.
my husband to work 2, 3, 4 jobs to come,
Mm-hmm.
so I can live this lavish lifestyle,
Yeah.
and we do that. We compare people, because they living in a nice home.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen men do that. This one man, I worked with him. That
Mm-hmm.
man would get off one job and
Go
come
to
to
the
the
next.
next one. And I'm like, good God, because his wife want to live this lavish lifestyle.
Yep.
Because, comparing and competing, want to keep up with the Joneses, and how
Mm-hmm.
they say these little terms.
Yeah.
And he working and killing, working his fingers to the bone to give her this lifestyle. To, like I say, because when you comparing and competing, want to show everybody all that, and a lot of this stuff ain't nothing but a bunch of pride.
Yeah.
It is. It's just pride, want to show off, and
Mm-hmm.
pride always want to show off,
Yeah.
and working 2, 3 jobs, and trying to, cause you want to show somebody that hey,
I
y'all
can do
living
it
like
too.
this, we can live like this too.
Exactly.
But and when we, like say, that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't. It is nothing right about for me to make you feel little and make you feel less than. Cause I want this lifestyle because I'm looking at this woman.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want you to be looking at some, you know, some I can't be looking at this man.
Yeah.
I say it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be looking at this man how he is with his wife,
Mm-hmm.
and comparing this man. He take his wife on vacation. They go to Hawaii. They go to the Bahamas. They go here and they go there. But then you got this person. They are spendthrift. They just spend. But you always want to put your husband down because he not bringing you out of town. Where if you start spending up all the money and start put back in the savings, maybe you can. So sometimes you have to take them finances and redirect them and put them different places instead of making him feel bad, because people do to you. We do. People do. You want to go to the mall and spend, buy all these old $100 bags. And have you ever considered, instead of you making your husband feel bad, well, hey, we're gonna cut back. We're gonna say we want to go to Hawaii. We're gonna come up with a little plan. We're gonna do, let's spend. We're gonna put this back.
Yeah.
Well, you ain't gonna be at the mall there, but we buying bundles and hair and shoes and all that. Maybe you can go on the trip, and maybe you can stop beating your spouse.
Yeah. So, on that note, the thing is that what you and we'll bottom line this and then we'll come to a close.
Yeah,
What
because I'm
we
so boxing.
Yeah, she's so boxing. So I was waiting for her to get off her box. So the bottom line of it all, no matter how, and that's going to get into the happiness part. But no matter how piercings can, and they say piercings can be deceiving. It is. You see all this stuff going on, and you look at these people, and you thinking, man,
They got it going on.
they got it going on. They don't. You know, I remember one time, this dude came on stage. I probably heard of him. Probably a lot of people heard of him. He did. People were sending videos of different things, and they had one particular picture of one of these women I mentioned. But if you look in the background,
Yeah.
she had a TV sitting on luggage.
Yeah, on a suitcase.
That room was tore up. If you spend time cleaning that room and getting you a TV stand, as much as you sitting there doing butt shots, you might be able to get somewhere. And see, here's the thing: if you don't value you, nobody else will.
Right.
And if you put value on people in your life, see, the reason why I open the door for her and the reason why I do for her is because I value this woman.
Right.
She had proved that she's worthy of all that attention. Because a lot of people, I wouldn't have done nothing to that too. Like I told one particular time, she's the first person that I ever been with that if she feeds me off with her hand, she'll take a fry something and put it in my mouth. I ain't never let no woman do that. Because number one, I know what them health hands be. We finna put nothing in my mouth. I'm just saying. The people, when I was under, them women wasn't right. So, I knew what they did and where their hand went. And now, I'm like, nope. you not finna put nothing in my mouth because your hands not clean. So, my wife is the first woman that ever did feed me from her hand, and I take it. And so from that right there to tell you that I have trust in her. My wife could pardon me and I just wouldn't know it, because I trusted her. But the thing
I
is,
can make them a sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie. Y'all, or the help. Y'all better watch that movie. That's funny. But anyway, the help. I ain't gonna talk about it. But anyway, not on the line. No matter how much it may seem to be, it's nothing but a false reality, like he said.
Yeah.
And please don't compare yourself, your life or your spouse to anybody other than them.
Yeah.
If anybody you want to use a standard in their life, that's use Jesus, use God. Don't use people, because people change and things change. So
yeah, and so many people, like I say, and it be, I call them fake and phony, and this, just putting up these airs like they have it like that. And you know what? Like I say, you follow them home, and you be around them enough, you realize that.
They not all they say they are, and all they seem,
and they not, and we fall out with each other because like say we fall out with each other because we try to live like the Jones and want to be like them.
Yeah.
And like I say, this it's not even real. It's not this you getting all upset, falling all out with your husband, you falling all out with your wife, and y'all edit because because you see this sister and you see this brother, y'all just edit, going edit, just comparing and competing and making this man feel little, he making this woman feel little, and
it ain't worth it.
It's really not worth it. Now, especially finances, you hear people comparing in finances, and oh my God, I mean, and you name it, they just comparing and competing. And you just spinning your wheels, wasting your time instead of loving who God made you to be. The life, live your life, live your best life. That's how we do. We just live our best life. Y'all ain't nobody finna put me in no box. Hey, if you can afford to go buy a Euro, I'm happy for you, baby. Whatever you can afford in life, I'm happy for you. I am not finna sit out there and go trying to show you and compare myself with you that hey we can do it too. And no, I ain't finna get no debt.
Mm-mm.
trying to show nobody nothing, comparing and competing. Mm-mm-mm.
Mm.
Going broke and owe everybody, and because I'm trying.
Trying to compare to somebody else.
Yeah, and people do it all the
Yeah.
time, and we see it. I mean, we actually see this stuff,
Hmm.
and Lord have mercy.
So, on that note, yeah, that's pretty much it. I see where I'm gonna put my intro clip at. I take parts in our audio version,
Hmm.
in case you don't know it. And when you go to our website, and it'll give you a link to our Spotify on the website. But um, if you audio, I always take certain parts of it just as an intro clip.
Hmm.
So she might get her. I use her sometimes. Sometimes I use me. It has to be something that really stands out in the clip, and that right there probably gonna work for me. So,
Right.
on that note, we're going to get out the way. Thank God for you. Thank God for the new follow we had with Fragilitas, uh, and thank God for them.
And
And
somebody.
we missed the other one from last time, which is Dahako.
Hmm.
Thank God for the follows, and our alerts didn't go off, and I tested them, but that's okay. We can see that they did,
Yeah.
and so we thank God for them following us.
Hmm.
We want you to follow us as well. Go to our website, embraceandmarriagetogether.com. If you're on Twitch, the link is already in the chat. If you're on there, you can see our website in the beginning of this podcast. When the intro, you can see there. You go there, you can check out some of the places where we are. Now, that's some. We were running ad in the beginning, just before the ending, to kind of give you an idea of some of the other places that we are.
Hmm.
Um, so, like I say, we're going to be on schedule Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 to 9, or at least eight
To,
30 minutes, kind of in between
yeah,
there,
anywhere between 8 and 9.
in between 8 and 9. But mostly trying to start at 8
Hmm.
and do as much time as we can. Next one will be Friday, and be the end of the week, which is the happiness trap. Yeah, it's feeling like a trap, but it's actually a happiness comparison, because they are a comparison trap. So yeah, you
Hmm.
might well say the happiness comparison trap. So
Hmm.
you might title it like that. And we'll be talking about the happiness comparison,
Hmm.
and so we'll get into that, and we'll talk more about that. Also, will be an Embracing Marriage podcast. So we thank you for joining us on our podcast tonight, and we'll let my wife to give you her benediction, and we're gonna go ahead and go get out of the way.
I would like to say thank each and every one of you who have joined in with us on tonight, and maybe you'll look and join with us later.
Hmm.
I would like to say embrace God, embrace love, embrace marriage, embrace one another, family and friends, and dare to be different.
God bless y'all. We'll see y'all the next time.
Good night.